Good morning, stock traders, and welcome back to Stock Traders Talk Radio. I'm your host, Stock Sumo. Thanks for joining us on this freaky Friday. That's June 15th. Awfully excited to wrap up another exciting week, and today's a special day. It's quadruple witching day, so we're going to be doing some live trades, and I'm going to skip the traditional intro, and I'm just going to go right for our guests. And first up, we got Haas. What's happening, buddy?
Hey, buddy. What do you mean you're skipping the normal intro? What's your normal intro?
Open up your charts, turn on those scanners, and fire up your trading accounts, baby.
I don't care about that stuff anyways. I just care about how many freakies you use before the word Friday. So I thought you did a good job this morning.
I really got to wind up with a deep breath to try to get that all in there.
No doubt, man. Impressive.
It's good to have
I'm doing great this morning. I'm ready to rock.
Good. It's good to have a big lung capacity and really be able to blow strong. And man, I tell you what, I can chime with the best of them.
All right, sounds good, buddy.
Also, joining us on this morning's program, we have Sifikia. What's happening, Sifi?
I'm doing good. Aloha, boys. I was thinking you were pretty much outdoing yourself there with the freaky Friday, but way to knock it out of the park, man. We're not going for singles here. Homers only, baby. Homers only.
Yeah, we're going to be looking for some home runs here this morning. This is my first time ever even being familiarized with quad witching day. So, from what I learned earlier in the week, this day only comes 4 times a year, and it's when the option contracts expire. So there's going to be some wild swings in the market. Looking for some seesaw action. It's all about being on the right side, playing smart, sticking to a tight stop, and being sure to lock in some profits. So hopefully we can do that a lot this morning. We're going to be looking at SPY, SPY. Got in some calls late in the day yesterday. Hopefully I'm still in the money and this baby goes green on us. I know I got the call yesterday about half an hour into the close. The SPY was trading around 133, so I picked up the 133 calls and picked them up at 37 cents. They ended up closing at 89 cents. The stock closed at 133.40 something, I believe. What was the last trade on it? Do you got that, Siffy?
133.49.
133.49 she closed at. Currently looking like it wants to gap down a little bit. It's 133.16 here pre-market. So, maybe holding those calls for me wasn't the best idea. I wasn't here at the end of the day. Had I seen I was up over 100%, I would have probably clipped it and made the quick profit and just waited for today. But, hey, what are you going to do? We'll see what happens. What other calls? Well, that's a pretty easy question to ask Siffy. What other calls does he like? Apple is like his baby. Have you played that a couple times this week, Siffy?
Si, senor. But today,
how did it do?
I will be rocking the SPY and the SPY only. And the reason why is the SPY right now is at 133.14. So that gives you a great perspective of where you can start looking. I'll be looking at the SPY 133 call, which I'm currently in. As Sumo stated, we picked that up. I did take my 100%, but I did get back in again. A couple contracts, just a little lotto ticket, looking for a gap up today. Looks like it ain't happening. That's why you don't put a lot of money going into a option expiration, because it will take you out back even if the market's flat. I don't care if you're put or call, they're sucking that premium out. So right now it looks like me and Sumo are gonna get sucked on a little, but that sounds a little weird, but anyways, yeah, 133 call, 133 put. You can price them. It's easy to price them. You can see the premium. You can see how much it's worth, and then you can always speculate because right now, let's just say, for instance, the SPY 133 call, which we picked up for 36 cents, it closed at like 50 something, but then after hours it ran to 89 cents. And by the way, SPY, QQQ, they're so liquid, you can trade them after hours for about 15 minutes. Yeah, that thing ran up to 89 cents. I didn't dump it either, but now what you'll see this morning is whatever they're priced at. If this, let's say the SPY moves to 135 today, which would be awesome for the call holders, but this is obviously just hypothetical. But if it did, you'd be $2 in the money, so that thing would be worth at least $2, being $2 in the money. And likewise with the SPY put in the money. That's what we're looking for. We're looking to buy options that are just a little bit out of the money or right at the money, but we're looking for them to close in the money because that's the easiest way to price these bad boys. So, yep. 133 call, 133 put. Get on the right side and get a multi-bagger. Enjoy. Back to you, Sumo.
All right. Why don't we take a look at the old scanner real quick? I'm going to just run off a couple of plays that are standing out to me before I pass it over to Haas. I believe he's got a mini spotlight for us this morning. So I'll pull up my scanner and just take a look and see what's trading volume and gapping up here for us this morning. ARNA, a little bit of volume here pre-market, a little slight gap up. It's trading at $8.26 pre-market. That's a gain of 2.23% pre-market. It's 372,000 shares traded. A couple other ones that are up here pre-market are YPF. That's ticker symbol Yankee Papa Frank, YPF. It's up 13.4% on 29,380 shares. BVSN. That's Broad Vision. Boy, Victor, Sally, Nancy. Up 11.5% here this morning. What else do we got here? We got QTWW. It's up 5.6% on 41,000 shares. Last trade 75 cents. GMXR. That's GMX Resources. Traded 93 cents. It's up 18.75% on 50,750 shares. Scrolling down the list. You got DSTI. That's David Sally Tango India. Traded 5,300 shares pre-market. It's at $1.50, up 32%. All right. That's all I got really for right now. I'm going to pass it over to Haas, and I'm going to let you run with it and see what we got for a spotlight this morning. Take it away, bud.
All right, sounds good, man. Yeah, this morning I want to talk about a company that's starting to heat up a little bit as far as chatter across the boards goes. BooooooooM Beverage Company. The ticker is BBDA. This one has probably come across all of your scanners at some one point or another if you've been trading for a little while. And they've been making some very positive moves within their respective market, and as well as some of the press releases that are hinting at some big things to come, which is why I wanted to spotlight it this morning, as it kind of started to heat up and hit some higher lows yesterday. So again, BooooooooM Beverage Company, ticker BBDA. This one closed at 0005 yesterday, so keep that in mind as we're going through this. This stock's kind of been beaten down on some dilution recently, but the press they put out yesterday basically puts an end to the dilution in theory, and they're actually bringing in some decent revenues. So that's why I wanted to spotlight this one. So let's check this one out. Just starting off at DD and Amanda here, we'll get an idea of the dollar volume traded on the stock recently. As you can see, a few months back, all the way back in December of 2011 here, we're seeing the similar dollar volumes traded in the stock as it's hanging here in this similar area. Sure, it bumped up to the 001 area, bumped back down, did that a couple times, still hanging in these similar dollar ranges traded. So nothing too much that I can tease out from DD Amanda, but just going over the press releases over the past few months and some of the filings and stuff, they have been diluting a little bit. So basically, anytime that this stock would increase in share price, they'd dilute, $20,000-$30,000 more dollars worth of shares and raise some funds, which basically killed any sort of run or momentum that this stock built at any one time. But just the recent dollar volumes we see around, $10,000 traded, 15, and then yesterday, you have a little more interest on a press release they put out, about $50,000 in trading volume. Hit a high of 0006, which it hasn't hit for a good probably month or so, which is another thing that caught my interest. Might be setting up for a nice little breakout here if the dollar volume and momentum continues to increase here, and it very well might, considering they're done diluting and the press release into that big news expected just within the next week or two here. So that's enough of DD Amanda. Let's go over to Pink Sheets. And I want to note a lot of the actual news releases that this company's been putting out. There's no shortage of news from this particular company over the course of the last, as far back as 3 years, back in 2009, 2010, 11. They got tons of news related to different types of distribution contracts for their specific beverage products throughout the United States, and also now they're expanding rapidly overseas, Mexico, over in the European area. And they're also making lots of affiliations with different athletes. There's some NASCAR athletes, there's other athletes, as well as other types of celebrities. Like a Jennifer Lopez video and a couple of others as well. And we'll go check out their website in a little bit. Their website is actually, looks pretty good. But yeah, so this is just page 2 on Pink Sheets, some of the news releases that they've been putting out over the course of March and April here. As you can see, most of them are related to either the affiliations with, celebrities or athletic events, NASCAR event here. There's also their main products are Coma Unwind. They're actually relaxation products. We'll check that out in a second, but most of these other ones are related to distribution agreements in different states within the U.S. and also overseas. But there are a couple of press releases in particular that I do want to check out, definitely. And one of them has to do with an approval from the U.S. Department of Treasury and Alcohol, Tobacco, Tax, and Trade Bureau. They received a permit. And I believe we actually went over this press release on radio when it came out, because I remember reading it. And it's very important for this particular company because they had a huge distribution contract that they were working on with a company in Mexico, this Grupo Cosaco. And basically, as stated in this press release, now that this partnership agreement can be executed, it is expected to double sales for BooooooooM company by next year. So we're talking about doubling sales for BBDA just with this one distribution contract that they were able to get because they were approved to distribute Grupo Cosaco's alcoholic products within the United States. So not only is this Grupo Cosaco going to, sell BooooooooM company's products in Mexico and throughout their realm over there, now BooooooooM company can distribute these alcoholic beverage products of Grupo Cosaco within the United States. So it's kind of a little exchange there, expected to double sales for BooooooooM company, very significant at this time of growth for BooooooooM company. So that's one of the main press releases I wanted to go over. That was released back on March 29th, 2012, kind of setting the stage a little bit. And one more press release that I really want to go over is the most recent one, which they actually released June 14th, 2012, which was yesterday, which is kind of setting the stage for what's to come for BooooooooM company, and lots of positive things we can tease out from it. So I'm going to click on this guy here. And I'm going to read pretty much this whole thing because there's lots of awesome tidbits for current and potential shareholders here. BooooooooM Beverage Company, a developer, manufacturer, and marketer of liquid relaxation products, announced today that the company will no longer need to raise capital in the marketplace. And, you know, people who are familiar with this company know, I believe back in March, there was a little conference call, and he basically stated everything in this press release. He said he's got to dilute a bunch in the future, you know, to be able to grow as fast as they need to grow to get where they need to be. And most of these companies on the pink sheets do have to do that at one point or another. And this guy was just being honest and upfront with the shareholders, and he said, yeah, we're going to be diluting for the next couple of months, and after that, you know, we'll be done, and we'll start a buyback once we're distributed and expanded within the United States and overseas to a point where we can get into positive cash flow state, where we can start using our own funds to expand versus diluting in the open marketplace. So continuing on this press release, a significant announcement coming next week will be self-explanatory as to why the company no longer needs capital raised via the sales of stock. All right, so not only are they not going to dilute, a significant announcement coming next week is going to tell you why. So instantly it creates awesome speculation going into next week on some huge announcement for BBDA. So people are kind of getting hyped up about that. That was one of the main reasons for a lot of the dollar volume yesterday as well. In a live video conference held by CEO Brian Weber on March 6, 2012, this is that conference call I was talking about, Mr. Weber explained the capital structure and how the marketplace capitalization would end in the late spring and early summer for BooooooooM company. The company is holding at 2.4 billion shares outstanding with 2.5 billion shares authorized. So not a small amount of shares. But keep in mind that the outstanding is basically matching the authorized. They say they've been raising funds and they do have significant revenue. So if they actually do get some positive cash flows and start buying back shares, they might be able to lock up a lot of that. So that doesn't scare me too much, especially that is sitting down here at 0004, 0005. We've seen some of these, 2 billion, 3 billion share stocks with basically nothing going for the company, no revenues, tons of toxic debt. Move up close to half a penny to a penny. So by no means does that hinder this stock from being able to move. All right. But BooooooooM company is expected to see substantial growth in revenues and profits for the rest of the year and into the foreseeable future. Substantial growth in revenues and profits, another positive bit from this. And they don't have small revenues and profits for a 000 stock right now. So the fact that they're doubling it with that distribution contract that I mentioned before, and also a lot of the distribution contracts that they've been putting out in the press recently, their revenues could literally skyrocket, especially in this like energy drink market. We know how some of these products can take off if you make the right affiliations. I expected to end capitalization at around 2 billion shares. We went a little over that due to difficult market conditions, but we are now at a point that revenues and profits will fund our operations from this point forward, said BooooooooM company CEO Brian Weber. Additionally, as detailed in my video conference back in March, we will begin a systematic buyback of our stock later this year or early next year, which will increase the value of the stock for our shareholders. We are grateful to our loyal shareholders for staying with us through the capitalization process. Between the deals we have in the works and the growth we have achieved and expect to sustain well into the future, the stock will no longer be a necessary capitalization tool, said Weber. So very significant press release by the company yesterday. People will probably be going nuts over that if he stays true to what he was stated in that press release. And people are obviously expecting a big press release either next week or the week after on that significant update as to why they're not going to be able to dilute into the common marketplace anymore. So real good stuff there. Just checking out the latest interim financial statement get an idea of what sort of revenues and sales this company has right now, I believe this was released in earlier June here, like June 12th or something, so just a few days ago. But this is from January 1st, 2012 to March 31st, 2012. Unaudited, obviously, at this point. So for the first 3 months of 2012, basically, pretty significant assets. You got about $1 million in assets, most of that in accounts receivable and inventory. Pretty decent amount of cash on hand there. Very small amount of liabilities. This isn't very detailed. I would like to see a little more detail here, see where those liabilities lie, but you only got $82,000, $83,000 in liabilities. Most of the money that they have raised in the open marketplace to expand, so you're not going to see a bunch of debts taken out or toxic debt on the books, other than just general dilution into the open market. Common shares, we already mentioned. This is not correct. I believe they've diluted since this point even a little bit. After March, we mentioned it was 2.5 billion authorized share count and 2.4 billion outstanding share count. I'd be kind of interested to see what the actual float is, but I'm not sure we can get that information at this time. So anyways, revenue for the first 3 months of 2012. You got gross income of about $671,000 in sales there. Take that times 4. You got what, like $2.5 million in sales for the year. That's about where they're at right now. Obviously, they're making some distribution agreements and expanding within the U.S. and overseas to a point where they're set to put in some much larger numbers later on this year. So a decent amount of revenues for this company for sure. And not only that, they're actually have a net profit off of those numbers, which is very significant. Gross margins on the revenues around $500,000 for the first 3 months. Operating expenses, after all that crap is factored in, you have a net gain, a net profit of $172,000. So they're dang near up to $750,000 in net profit for the year right now. And that's a very significant number for the company. You got net income, you got positive net cash flows coming in. Now they're getting to a point where they don't need to dilute on the open market. So this just kind of confirms that a little bit with some pretty decent numbers for a 000 stock for sure. But yeah, they're talking a little bit about the share count at the end here. Balances of March 31st, 2012, 1.5 billion shares. So they've diluted into the open market almost 1 billion shares over the course of just the last 2 months, April, May, and through mid-June. So, if you'd have listened to that conference call back there, you'd have probably known that at that time, because he stated in that conference call, he said, yeah, I'm going to dilute. So at least he was being honest and upfront about it, just keeping the people patient to get to a point where he didn't have to dilute into the open market anymore, and hopefully it can build some momentum to the upside now that they're not doing that. But this is their website. It's actually a pretty cool website, BooooooooM.com. And as you can see up here, you have the Coma Unwind products, these two over here, and just a little Coma Unwind, not energy shot. It's actually an unwind shot. So these three over here, relaxation products. Also this Relax 5, about to launch its own website just for this specific Relax 5 product, if I'm not mistaken. It's in development though, so there's nothing really to look at this point. And also Potential Blast, and another potential energy drink that they're looking to put out in the market and selling. So really good stuff. I haven't personally seen these products in any stores, but I haven't been specifically looking for them, and I haven't done a whole lot of due diligence on this company or these products other than just like this morning and a little bit last night. But looks like some pretty cool products, and they're definitely selling. We saw that with the revenue numbers, and it seems like they're making distribution contracts everywhere. So I'm going to keep my eyes out for these products in different types of stores for sure. Let's see if I can find. I'm just going to scroll down on this a little bit. As you can see, Coma Unwind featured with Jennifer Lopez, so they're making those celebrity affiliations that I mentioned earlier. You got TV commercials, affiliated with NASCAR. You have Celebrity Apprentice Aubrey O'Day picking up some in the store. Chris Lafferty Motorsports TV. So they're making some pretty decent affiliations to where this brand name could really implant itself in this market. These are the 3 brand name products here. You got these, and then you got some of their partners as of right now. But a pretty cool website if you go and check it out. And you can click on the products, get a little description of what's going on with each product and what they're used for. But they have a kind of a combination of relaxation products and energy drinks. So cool stuff on the website. That's all I wanted to go over on the website. And let's go over to the iHub and see if there are any other bits that I want to give out. In the sticky post, there's one sticky post that I guess I wanted to mention. Released on June 11th. The CEO is really good about giving his shareholders updates. He does it quite often on his website. Over on the left side there if you want to go check that out. But the most recent one, June 11th, 2012, right around the time where they released that interim financial statement. Hello, everyone. We here at the Bev Company hope everyone has had a great start to the summer and a safe and fun summer ahead. The beat rolls on here. The coma, unwind, and potentia shots are growing faster as every week goes by. The newest edition, Relax 5, has also been gaining. I wish I could tell you more about some specific projects we have been doing, but if you can see and read between the lines, you probably know. The bottom line is in Q3 and on, we probably will be growing by more than 100% in gross. Gross revenues he's referring to there. We are talking major projects. They are extremely exciting and extremely sensitive. So please continue to be patient. I will be making announcements within the next 2 weeks about our capitalization shares, etc. We already went over that. We are working now on closing down that part, following closely to the plans I laid out a while back in the live video conference. Thank you everyone for your continued support and sharing our vision, as well as understanding building a brand both nationally and globally isn't a small undertaking, but it certainly has a truly tremendous award. I would go with reward there, but we'll company, BBDA. We do have a semi-high share structure, but not necessarily for a 000 stock. They have been diluting, but hopefully they're done diluting now. They have significant revenues now, but they're expected to grow at a rate of over 100%, basically per quarter, as if you read in between the lines here, because they're making some huge contracts, and it sounds like they're going to make even some bigger contracts come to fruition throughout 2012 here. And as early as next week, he's going to be making some huge announcements, as stated in the most recent press release. So I'm very interested to see how this company develops over the course of the next 1 or 2 years here. We've seen some of these companies make some huge runs in share price. Attitude Drinks, we had that one a while back after we spotlighted that one. That one ran like crazy as they expanded into some Walgreens stores and stuff like that. And we've seen some of these other beverage companies really, really take off. So if the Beta Beverage Company is definitely done diluting here, and thinks they will, I expect a nice little run in the stock in the near and midterm future here. So keep your eyes on it. That's all I got for it. I don't know if you guys want to look at a chart or not, or if you just want to head right over to the level 2 screens for the day. What do you guys think?
We are watching SPY, and it opened up just a slight gap down. The 133 calls are currently 62 by 67 cents. Let's see what they do here. 62 by 67, that's the 133 SPY calls that expire today. Don't get left holding them past today, that's for sure. The puts are currently 25 by 28, so that's what we were planning on looking at this morning. So we got the 133 calls and the 133 puts for SPY. That's ticker symbol SPY. And those SPY calls are now 68 by 68, 65 by 68 cents. And SPY looks like it wants to go to the green, folks. She closed at 133.47 yesterday. Gap down a little bit today, open around 133.40. Currently trading at 133.42. And that SPY call 133 calls are 66 by 69, 65 by 69. So a little sideways trading here out of the gate, but we're going to be looking for some uptick action. Currently the markets are green. Nope, they just went red. They don't know which way they want to go. Up, down, sideways, back and forth. We're going to see some seesaw action here on Quad Witching Friday. Take it away, Hoss. What do you got? What do you got?
I love how animated you get on the morning show, man. You keep me awake, especially in the mornings where I haven't had my coffee yet. Anyways, looks like BBDA's stock is spotlighted here, getting a few hits on the 6 there. Looks like decent bid support at the 5 as well, so definitely keeping an eye on that one. After it breaks this 0005, 0006 area, usually these stocks move a little bit easier. Looks like USEI, or spotlight from last night. Current spread is 4.4 cents by 4.5 cents on 160,000 in volume. Keeping an eye on that one. Looks like they're stacking that 4.5 cent mark a little bit. Let's see what else we got rolling. What's Arna trading at? 839, rolling back upwards. 1.5 million in volume. I don't have level 2 screen on that. I don't think it'd be useful anyways, but definitely pushing that one higher into the late June FTA PDUFA date. Still holding your calls there, Siffy?
Yep. Yep.
He's holding strong.
Waiting for this market to decide what she wants to do. You got the 132 put, or the 133 put at 21 by 23. So for you bears, if you think the SPY is going to sell off and settle down, let's just say she could close down to 132, that thing would be worth $1. You got the 133 call. It's going for 58 by 62. Looks to me like they want to dip this market, so careful. You got about 30 cents premium, 25-cent premium on the SPY 133 call. You can see that the SPY is at 133.35. The 133 call is at 56 by 59. So
I just took my 7 contracts off the table at 56 cents. I got in at 37. Why not lock a quick profit in? Be looking for a discount here. Would have liked to have gotten those 80s into the close yesterday. But as she's pulling back here, going to be looking for the bounce. I was looking at the 3-day or 7-day chart even on this SPY, and definitely, likes to move in the middle or end of the day. You can see on the 3-day chart, going back a couple days ago, it had a dip in the morning, first hour, and then it bounced hard, dipped below 132, and ran as high as 132.80. Looks like she's trying to find support here.
EMWW getting some good action so far this morning. Announced a change in CEO yesterday, along with the recent acquisition news. Up 23.4%, 700,000 volume last trade, 0058. Looks like it's building some decent support here.
Warrior Girl.
Yeah, I was just going to look at that one.
Hit my scanner here. It's up 53%. That's ticker symbol WRGL. I remember this from the past. It's had a lot of promotions a while back. Trade 1 million shares today. Last trade at 2 cents.
Yep, I'm looking in my email inbox. There is definitely a promotion today as well. Yeah, this one's been promoted by just about every group, I think. And looking at this level 2 screen, that's scary. Well, it doesn't show anything on the live video feed, but I just see market makers tonight on the actual feed here.
I'll
There you go.
Scanner. Ludwig Enterprises, LUDG. It's up on light volume. It's up 40% on 24,000 shares. Last traded at a quarter. That's 25 cents.
Very nice.
Shouts out to Retire Early. Saw her in the chat room talking about UPZS and Coil. So 2 ticker symbols coming from one of our listeners out there. Saw her mention them in the chat room. Figured I'd mention them on the radio show for her. That's UPZS. It's Unique Pizza and Subs. That's under Papa Zebra Sally. Trading at 10.71. That's 10 cents. It's up 2.8% on 68,000. The other stock ticker was Coil. That's COIL, and I don't know what that's trading at. I know it was 60 cents or something last time I checked it, but I haven't looked at it today.
No, Coil's not worth mentioning today. It's 30 cent by 44 cent spread. 7,000 shares traded.
You could drive a Mack truck through there.
This one's been weird. I don't know if they're diluting or what, but got a lot of volume at that 60 cent area. It looked like it was going to make a nice push higher. I think it was late last week, Friday or something. It closed in the 70s on some decent volume. And just kind of slowly dwindling down. I don't know exactly what's going on with this, but it's a small float, and we'll see if it can pick back up. It tends to move pretty easy on significant ass volume, but it's quiet so far today. It is a Friday, though, so who knows.
All right, I'm looking for the discount on the SPY calls. I want to play this thing one more time today, and maybe a couple times, but right now I'd be happy with one time. I just want to walk away with a profit. The low of the day is 52 cents on this call. The high of the day is 75 cents. Currently it's 53 by 54. Again, these are the 133 calls which expire today. Now it's 54 by 55. SPY is trading at 133.28. On the flip side, the puts are trading at 25 cents. 25 by 26 to be exact. Those are the 133 puts. Again, today is quad witching day, which is when all the options expire. This day comes only 4 times a year. So we'll be interesting watching these. Okay, SPY just broke below the low of day. Let's see where they want to find support. The calls are now at 46 by 47. I'm just going to be looking for a quick flip. Maybe if I could get it in the 30s and flip it to the 50s, I'd be happy with that. On the flip side, those puts are going up. The puts were as low as 21 cents this morning. Now they're up to 29 by 30, so almost a 50% intraday move. Folks, that's why we watch these. That's why we play them. They're highly volatile. You have to have your finger on the trigger because they move really quick. As soon as you see those profits, you got to take them because this is why we're playing them. This is seesaw action at its finest. It's like a teeter-totter that just doesn't want to stop. Siffy is not talking. Notice he's quiet this morning because this is like a field day for him. He's like a little kid in a candy store.
That's funny. Yeah.
It's funny, but it's not wrong.
Come on, baby. We got on a 5-minute 3-day. You can see it sitting there on that 20 and that 50 MA. The indicators don't look quite ready just yet to me, but hard to say. Am I looking at the wrong damn thing? Ah. Is that the one I want? Yeah, that's the one I want. You can see there. I had the wrong screen pulled up, but 133.18. Looks like she's trying to find that support in that 20 and the 50. But you can see that MACD looks like it's trying to roll over. Slow stows heading south. We'll see if she can find the support here on this 20 MA. You got the 20 crossing through that 50. to the upside. So we'll see if she can hold. But I'd rather be a buyer, personally. I'd rather try to pick up this dip down here on this 100, 200 MA if she can't hold here. Like Sumo said, the SPY June call, 28 by 29. You can see that there, big gap down. So
Look at that. EEDG is moving this morning, 40% up today on 500 plus thousand shares traded. This has been a big runner for us in the past, and this is one of those retire early plays I remember distinctively, but it had a big move, and then you see the consolidation. Now we're getting a bounce. This thing ran from 004s all the way up to 15 cents. Looks like she found support around a nickel, and you're starting to see a little bit of a bounce today on EEDG.
see a big reversal on EEDG is what I'm seeing. Hit that 20 MA on a daily, and it's coming off of it hard, so keep your eye on that. Don't want to see that on a daily chart where she runs up, hits that 20, and gets crushed, so careful. Plus, you got a huge, ugly spread on this 0.51 by 0.6. Come on, Sumo, find me something better. What you got?
Darn it, as I was talking about that, I wanted to get those SPY calls at like 46 cents, and I missed them. Now they're back to 50. All right, come back down.
See, you shouldn't have interrupted me when I was talking about the SPY with some crappy penny stock.
Well, Warrior Girl topped
Here,
out.
let's check out TTDZ. Here's one that's actually heading north. As of now, it's up 20%. It's at 0011 by 0012. The chart looks like a nice little bottoming formation. You can see that there. The thing has just been beaten. I mean, beaten like an ugly stepchild back in the shed. So, TTDZ, check that one out. I don't know what the deal is with that. Haas, you got any word on TTDZ?
Can't remember if we did a mini spot on that one or if we just mentioned some of the press releases, but I believe, I'd have to double check, that they have like a significant acquisition or merger candidate coming in, and they released something in their financials after a long time of being pretty silent a while ago. That's where you see that major spike related to some significant revenues from this company that they're bringing in, like not small, like tens of millions of dollars. So that's why that huge spike happened, and they kind of went quiet for a bit. I'd have to go double check, but I don't know if we have time to do that quite yet. Maybe I will when you guys start talking here in a bit. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of eyes on that one right now. And we know it can run from these areas, that's for sure. Yippee bouncing back today, up 17.1%. Thing took a ridiculous dip from what did it get up to, like $2.30, dipped all the way back down to $1, which it probably needed. Definitely needed to cool off. That thing was up freaking 30-40% every damn day for a week, I think. Still some significant stuff going on with the company, and I honestly expect it to push higher from here over the midterm for sure. But I might consolidate down here a little while.
Himr, HIMR, having a pullback today. We saw this one take a run earlier in the week. We watched it go up 100%. It went from 0014 when we were first watching it, hit a high of 0028, started to pull back yesterday, and taking another crap stain here today. It's 0013 by 0014, so back to where we first spotted it.
One day wonder?
Could be.
You gotta be kidding me. Who the
EBDA,
hell told
these
us to
sixes
buy
are
that bunch
going.
of shit?
0006, up 20%, almost 10 million in volume now.
Come on, Spy. I want a discount. Come down, baby girl. Daddy wants a discount. Yeah, not a lot of things really hitting my scanner on the penny stock tip. I'm seeing one take a dump here this morning. Alzo Medical, that's one of those A stocks. ALZM is down 25% this morning on 7.5 million shares, last traded at 009.
Yeah, that one had a big day yesterday on some news. Might be a little bit of a combination of a pullback and people taking profits. I don't know. Let's go check out if they put any news yesterday.
Watch out for Viper, VPER, Viper, whatever you want to call it. You can see here on a daily, guys, it's hit that 200 MA once, twice, 3 times going on here. Let's see if she holds. It's at 0021 by 0022. You can see the huge bounces this thing's had off of its 200 MA. So keep your eye on it, because if she doesn't hold this time, look out below. That's VPER. But as of now, you got to respect that 200 MA. So yeah, I just want to throw that out there real quick because I saw that as I'm flipping through my scanner here. Go ahead, Haas. Sorry about that, man.
No, that's fine.
A Viper, a Viper, a Jabipper, and a Jabiper. Hopefully it looks nicer.
KMAG's been heating up again over the last couple of days. We've obviously been all over that one over the last couple of months. Heated up on some significant news about expansion for the company, growth and revenues. They put that press out yesterday. Had a big day yesterday. Back into the high 004s. They closed at 0047. Opened today at 0047. Dipped down to 0043, and it's back up to a 0048 by 0049 spread here. So trying to build some momentum back to that upside. That 005, obviously big mental break.
We got Seek, SEEK. It's hitting the scanner. It's quad 7 by quad 8. I'm not sure if it's even worth talking about. It's up 33.33%, but it is hitting the scanner. So, got anything significant happen on that, or just some bottom figures here, Haas?
We can go check out the press they put out in a second here, but this one kind of likes to hang around that 001 area. There's been some groups who have tried to push this several times, and it always seems to like die out in that low 001s area, 0011, 0012. But I don't know. Let's check out that news. I like bid sport below the 0008s. The world's first chiropractic search engine, chiropractor.net, goes live. Looks like this company, the directory.com Incorporated, which is Seek here, an emerging leader in the vertical and local search space, today announced that it has launched the world's first chiropractic search engine, www.chiropractor.net.
That sounds pretty cool. I'm sure Siffy could use that.
Trying to read through this, see if they mention anything about what they get from it, or our next 2 vertical search engines will transform 2 additional high-growth industries: pediatricians.com and psychiatrist.com. So it looks like medical-related websites, search engines. Cool. Definitely like the bid sport. We're 2 million shares on 0007. You market makers on 0008 for about 2 million shares.
Oh, here goes those SPY calls. I picked some back up at 51. She's
Nice.
58 by 59. Needs to get through 133.46. That's the high of day. If SPY can bust through that high of day, we're looking for higher highs and higher lows. Confirm a little bit of an uptrend. Come on, SPY, let's do it.
Man, ALZM is just getting killed. I think STT would be disappointed. I think he's been kind of hot on this one for a long, long time.
Yeah, they're taking her out back. You know what that calls for.
Might not.
Oh, I don't know about the box. How about the box?
All right, let's check. I need to figure out how much this sucker was up yesterday. Had $389,000 traded yesterday after a relative quiet period around the stock. It was up from 0069 close on Wednesday to a 1.2 cent close yesterday. So it was up huge yesterday. So it's still up about 50% from the start of the day yesterday. And judging by the dollar volume so far today, which is about, 1/5, 1/6 of yesterday, this would be a natural pullback.
Hey, you guys, how you guys like my new little scenic video there of the ocean and
Oh, that's awesome.
you like that? You hear the sound? Got some sound in there? Little waves.
That's pretty sweet, man.
Just sit back and relax. No stress, losing money is just part of the game.
That's what we need in this market. Holy crap.
Yeah. Just had to throw that up there real quick.
Attaboy.
Here's one of my favorite sunsets, guys. Here's a quick shot of Honolulu Bay. I know it doesn't show much of a wave, but you can get some amazing green flashes when that sun, later on in the summer, that sun moves over to the right a little bit. Green Flash City, baby.
Nice. That's it. I'm coming out.
That's it. Come on, Arna. Bring the Haas to Maui.
I'll probably come out anyways.
There you go. Don't be scared. These island ladies will love the Haas hunch.
I might have a few tricks up my sleeve when it comes to the ladies.
Uh-oh.
Or a few pills.
Bills? Come on now. Come on now, you're killing me.
That was a joke, Haas. Just a joke.
I haven't used pills in years.
I had a little restraining order problem after the last pill incident, so.
Oh, and look who just broke through the 0006's BBDA, Babita Beverage Company. 0006 by 0007 now got about 4 million bid support on 000. Well, now 7 million in bid support on 0006. About 14, 15 million shares sitting there on 0007 right now. After that, it's kind of tough to tell because the next market makers are at 0036. But fully expect this one to keep building a little bit of momentum here, churning a little bit, probably to the upside because people are expecting a very significant news release next week. And the company is, in theory, done diluting.
All right, guys. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to wrap it up here. I want to go make some of these trades. This type of activity only comes every so often. and you're seeing a lot of high volatility on light volume swings. Let's go capitalize on this. I'm ready to cut loose. You ready?
Yep, I'm ending on a high note. Keep an eye on BBDA over the next week.
Watch those SPY calls and puts. Don't get caught holding
They
at the
expired
end of the
today.
day.
Looks to me like the market wants to go up, Skivich.
Oh yeah, she's in green mode today. Thanks for tuning in to STT Radio. If you didn't check out last night's interview with USEI, be sure to check it out. The video is posted under the videos on Investors Hub. And here goes the SPY calls back over 60 cents. I'm glad I loaded them up in the low 50s. We'll see you next time. STT Radio is out.
Hello.
Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. All views and topics talked about on Stock Traders Talk Radio is solely for entertainment purposes. We are not professional financial advisors and always recommend you seek the advice of a professional financial advisor. Never invest in any stock featured on our show unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. The information contained on our show is based on sources which we believe to be reliable, but is not guaranteed by us as being accurate, and might not
I
be
got
a complete
37
statement or
contracts.
summary of the available data. Stock Traders Talk Radio advises that the investments in companies profiled are commonly considered to be high risk, and use of the information provided is at the investor's sole risk. Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio.